Alrighty, guys, we are officially live. So, well, not live because no one can watch it yet, but after the season, people can watch this. So just
really?
Yeah. So
is
thank you guys
everyone
for
ready to
coming.
shit talk?
Yeah, this is a jury roundtable. So basically, just what we're gonna do. It's just kind of like an open discussion of the people in the final three and what you think of the game in general, and kind of like what you want to see happen in the finale for the most part. So I don't really like have any questions prepared because last season no one made me do questions because they all just kept talking. So you guys can just start by saying like what you think of the final three individually, and who you think at the moment played the best game before their speeches or whatever.
Can I just first say, not my favorite final three. Like I would have rather like any single person in this call right now over those three. Like I love all of them, but like, I.
Emma played the best game out of them three, I think.
I agree with Brian for sure.
Which one was that?
Emma.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
How about this? Let's go through all of their games. Let's start with Emma then.
Mm-hmm.
Emma had a good social game.
For sure.
I feel like she slept. I don't know if this is true or not, but I feel like she slept low key until I nominated her at the final 11. That's what I feel.
I wrong.
No, absolutely not, Brian. And you know that because we literally gave her a freaking property. Like, come on.
That was amazing that she did that. Like, I think you can attest to this. She was like, "Can you give me the properties to both of us?" I didn't want to say no because that would look so bad on me, and I feel like you felt the same way.
Well, her and I talked about that, and I feel like that was the first move that I felt like, damn, afterwards, obviously, like, retrospectively, I was like, damn, like, that was good. Like, I could have never pulled that off. I don't think you would have given it to me, and I feel like she just inserted herself into that as, like, the best option for both of us, because we both felt like you could trust her.
Did you really think I wouldn't have?
I wouldn't have given it to you, no offense.
And, like, can I just say from an outsider perspective, the best part of that was Emma being like, they forced me to do it. I didn't want them to. So, like, on one side of the house, she was basically being like, yeah, guys, give it to me. And then on my quote-unquote side of the house, she was like, fucking Brian. He basically, like, not bullied me, that's a bad word, but he's basically like, yeah, I had to tell him.
He intimidated.
Let's not use that word. No. It was.
That's like the word of the season.
Badass of Emma.
She was also, I'm sorry, Glenn. She was also in all of me and Chris's first alliances because we like knew her. Well, we didn't know her, but we knew a friend of hers outside of the game who played with Chris and I, and that also solidified like my trust in her because I was like, if my friend who I played with is vouching for her, then I'm sure we can trust her, which is another thing. Like, she was included in everything that we did.
Was she benefited by that, though? Because that's nothing she did. That's because she got lucky that she had a friend that knew you two, and she just had connections outside the game, which I would not think.
Right. But she never, like, ruined that connection, even when I was accusing her of shit. You know?
Yeah, I think out of the three, Emma definitely had the most pre-existing connections in the game. That's a bad thing against her, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I will say one good thing that I noticed about her is around the time when me and Corey were talking about getting the alliance of me, Christine, Gwen, Jess, and Corey together, I would be like, yeah, so these 5 players. And then Corey would always be like, yeah, these 5 players. And Emma. I'm like, I don't know about Emma. He's like, yeah, but Emma. And so, like everyone wanted her in on these alliances because everyone trusted her.
Can I chime in? I think he wanted Emma because me, Corey, and Emma had an alliance, which was a sub-alliance of a bigger alliance, which was me, Mackenzie, Eve, Emma, Corey.
Oh damn! Oh damn!
So I think he knew if she wasn't included, I probably would have told her, and he would have gotten busted. Just saying.
So she had her hand in very many cookie jars. Is what I guess.
I think Emma was with everybody at some point.
Almost.
I like that.
Emma was never really working with me, though. Like, we were always, like, friendly, but we were never. I mean, I think was she in the book club? I don't remember who was in that. But I never had like a core kind of alliance with her.
I kind of feel that. I was never in a group with her, but we still talk daily. I called her Stinky every single day. She called me Stinky every single day.
She had a really good social game, even with the people that she wasn't aligned with.
Yeah.
Like
And I know I've been kind of for a while equating Jess's game to like that good like floater game, but is that really Emma's game? Like, is Emma really the good floater kind of? Well, is it floater in a good sense of like making sure she's good with everyone and kind of playing a little bit of all sides to make sure everyone trusted her.
Oh my god, you guys! I just thought of something.
What?
When I was hanging out with Derek the other night, I should have asked him to host this roundtable.
That would have been
Oh my god.
No,
That would have been.
Okay, anyway.
So-
Listen, if you didn't get someone from that party to play the next season of this, I'm gonna be pissed. That's all I'm saying.
I went up to Steven Fishback and I was like, Steven, you need to play Board Game Big Brother. And he was like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, he's like, what the fuck?
I straight up went up to him and told him no, and he's like, at least he knows who I am, so I'm not like just like some random crazy, but like, sorry, I'm also doing a posting challenge right now, so if you hear alarms, that's all that is.
Did y'all talk about Mackenzie or Dem yet? Or
I was gonna say, let's do Mackenzie next.
Emma. Okay, so we touched on Emma's social game. Let's talk about her strategic game. What did she do strategically in the game? From your guys' perspective. I know what she did.
I mean, I didn't know much. Not being aligned with her, I didn't really know exactly. I feel like from what I've seen, it's just like it was her and that side together. I always considered her kind of really closely aligned with either you or Dem, and I kind of thought like you guys were just kind of going for it as a group.
I think she was more like a follower than like she had some say, but I feel like she followed a lot of what her allies said, and she was really loyal to them.
I feel like she was like an influential follower, if that makes sense. Like,
I agree.
she was like she's super smart, and she, like in the alliances that I was with her, like she would just like point things out and sort of lead the conversation in certain directions. I don't know if that was like purposefully or just her trying to be part of the conversation, but I feel like her input in whenever I would talk to her was pretty strategic, like thinking about it now, because like everything that she basically wanted to happen happened in one way or another, besides like the Chris vote, which whatever, that was fine because it worked out for her in the end.
Anyone else have? I know what I want to say. I think the first strategic move Emma ever made in this game was blaming the whole blue property thing on Brian, being like, fucking Brian, he outed me out there, because she didn't tell me at that point, and I thought I was really close with her. I heard it from Emma, and then like 2 hours later I heard it from Brian. And I think when she pinned it on Brian, being like, he's forcing my hand, I have to, fuck Brian, I'm pretty sure, Brian, you still felt like she was with you at that point, kind of, yeah. But to us, she was painting you as a target a little bit. She was trying to distance herself from your, like, I'm going to call it your guys' side.
Well, was it hard to paint me as a target at that point? I was already like a target.
But did anyone think Emma was playing like a strategic game at that point? Like, I think everyone was saying she's coasting, but in my PM, she was kind of painting you as a target.
Mm-hmm.
And I think another thing too, I guess this can be said for Dem too, but like when the whole sides were made, originally Emma wasn't a part of it. Dem was, because it was me, Dem, Austin, Mackenzie, Eve, Andrew. Emma wasn't a part of it. We always thought she was on the other side. And she kind of like slithered her way through, because she was like, fuck these people, because as soon as you guys put her name out there, she was like, Saranara.
Don't say you guys. It was just Brian who outed everybody. So don't say you guys.
It was Brian.
I apologize. But when
I agree with Jess. I feel like she did slide her way through that really well. Like, I was a bitch about it, and I was super loud and annoying and obnoxious, and I was like, fuck Brian, we need to get him out. And she was like, I'm just gonna step into the shadows on this one, and it really worked out for her.
Yeah.
I feel like she stepped up when she felt she needed to, and took like back seat when she needed to, and she knew what the perfect time was for both of them.
You know what? To try and get me to vote to keep her that one time?
Why?
We
What?
were talking about Chris Underwood.
Wait, at the final 11?
I don't know, whenever she was nominated.
The final 11 was when she was against Corey. Yeah, that was final 11.
Yeah, like, oh, you almost have me there. Not really, but kind of. Like, if you're gonna get to my heart, that's the way to do it.
I think going along with what Jess was kind of saying, or I think it was Brian, and this kind of relates both to strategy and like physically, but like she won those HOHs like when she didn't go out winning every single one or trying as hard as possible like say someone like Gwen did. Like I don't remember how many she won, but I know like every time she won those HOHs, they were like critical HOHs, and she got her side moving forward.
She did tell me in the beginning of the game, she was like, I don't want to win any HOHs yet, so this one's yours. Like the one that I won, because her and Chris were like in a Final 3 alliance or whatever. Like, whatever. But she was like, yeah, I don't want to win this one. So I feel like she was strategically like throwing competitions when she didn't want to win, and she tried really hard when she did need to win, and I think she did a really good job of that.
Yeah.
I think it was easy for us to tell she was throwing them too, because all of us were like, oh, it's Friday night. We're not going to drink until the comp is over. And Emma showed up.
I was like
I don't give a fuck.
Okay, that one day when Emma was like, I'm scared.
That she's like, that was like her most embarrassing moment in the game. She literally just talked about that like yesterday.
Really? Yeah. Oh, I love her. I felt so bad. I was like, is this what being drunk is like? I would never.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think. Yeah, I think another point too, which I think kind of got her a little farther than maybe she might have been projected to, is she threw Dem under the bus every chance she got after like a certain point. Like I had an alliance with Dem, Emma, Mackenzie, myself, which was a sub-alliance from a bigger alliance. And then Emma was like, I'm going to make one with the 3 girls. Fuck Dem. And it was kind of iconic because like Dem would always post these like GIFs of like 4 people. And then Emma would crop out the GIFs and just put 3 people and post it instead of like, I just thought it was funny. But yeah, I think, Emma, I love Emma too.
She knew about Dem's bullshit, but it was smart of if he thought that she was aligned with him for her not to say anything. Because like when I went on call and I went off, like she could have easily jumped on and basically defended what I was saying, which would have given.
He was in the alliance chat being like, "Damn, I'm so sorry."
But
she like covered her bases really well. I love that about Emma. But if she doesn't cut Dem, she loses my vote.
Yes. Yeah.
I think she's the front runner though for all of us.
Okay, let me ask this then. So,
Wait,
do you guys think
part 3, really quick? Isn't part 3?
Part 3?
Mackenzie and Emma.
Yeah. So, based on who's in part 3, who do you think? Like, do you think Emma or Mackenzie are gonna cut each other, or do you think they're gonna cut Dem? Like either one.
No.
They're all cutting.
If they're smart, they should cut them.
If they don't cut them, they don't get my vote.
If Mackenzie cuts Emma, I think she has a better chance to win. She probably won't, but I think she's a better chance to win. You don't think she has a chance?
Oh, Brian.
Honestly, if it's Emma and Mackenzie, I'm voting Emma 1,000%. If it's Dem and Mackenzie, it's hey, am I bitter today or am I not bitter today?
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Like I'm willing to vote Mackenzie over Dem.
Oh my God! Stop. Are you serious?
The thing is, Mackenzie's a really loyal person, and if she's like really close with Emma, so there's no way she's not taking Emma. In my
pre-game relationship, or they just got close to this game.
They just got close to this game.
I just like Dem, the way that he played and tried to intimidate people. Like the more that
it worked.
No, but wait, hold on. Let me talk. Like, the more that I think about it, like, I don't want to be a bitter juror, but I think that, especially for someone like, some of us that have been out in the jury for a long time and had a lot of time to think about it, and I still really can't see myself giving him my vote. And I've thought about it a lot. Like, I'm a very, logical person. I like to give myself time to think about things. And I just really don't like the way that he talked to me and the way that he lied to me. And I could verify that he was lying to me. Whereas with someone like Jess, you just didn't necessarily give me a straight answer. But so I kind of knew that you weren't with me, but it was more socially, I appreciate it. Was that's something that I kind of respect a little bit more than him just straight up lying to me like that, than him trying to intimidate me.
was gonna say, should we just move on to Dem then? Because I have a few pros and cons for him as well.
Yeah, go ahead.
So okay. Pros for Dem, I would say, is since like week 2 or 3, I've been telling like Brian and other people, like, I didn't trust Dem. Like, I knew something was off by the way he was talking, the way he was playing, and how like after veto he would run to you immediately and be like, "Who are you voting for? Are you voting with me or not? Yes or no?" So like if you like ask Brian, ask Corey, forever now I've been like, do we really trust Dem? Because I don't know. And yet, no one took a shot at him. He got Final 3, and he's been vocal about it. That's something we gotta give him props to, even if
Because nobody believed Chris when he brought it up. If people had believed Chris, I mean, I didn't really believe Chris either. And Chris was like one of my closest allies in the house. No, I think that in the end, his side did win competitions, and that's great that he got there and that his side won competitions. But if his side hadn't won those competitions, he would likely have been targeted.
That's not true because he was working very closely with me, and not to say that I had any fucking power at all, but I'm just saying, like, I would have done some things like he did for me and tried to protect me. Like, he used his veto on me when he literally did not have to. When Brian was HOH, like, he did not have to use his veto on me at all, but he did because we were working together. And then literally the next week. Yeah, but it doesn't matter. Like, that's the integrity of the game. You know what I mean? Like, he did what he had to do to save himself, and I think I respect that more than, like honestly, play for yourself. I'm glad that this is going to sound pretty shitty, but, like, I like players like Paul, the people who lie and cheat and do everything they need to do to get to the win, because I feel like that's fucking awesome. Like, good for you. You're a badass and you were able to do that and make it to Final 3. Like, you've obviously done something right in order to get there, even if it did hurt people on the way. Like, I respect that more than somebody who has done nothing, aka Mackenzie. Like,
I think.
See, I was about to say the same thing. Like, I was about to really hint it to Paul, but in a bad way, because I don't like Paul at all. Sorry. I think
offended my life, but it's okay.
I didn't know. So it's not really that similar to Paul. It's just like, I think he played way too hard. And this is Dem. I think he played way too hard for the entire majority of the game. Like I said, he would text you immediately after veto, saying who you're voting for. He would make sure like he just like he'd always like make 10 million alliances. He just did too much, and it just kind of rubbed me the wrong way.
But that shows his focus the whole time, and he knew what his goal was, and he knew how to get there. He wasn't nominated to a Final Four.
Well, yeah, but like,
if our side had won one of those competitions at the Final 8, he would have gone up. He would have been nominated.
I mean,
and I know, like, Brian, how yesterday, or I think it was yesterday or 2 days ago, you said like that just shows passion for the game. Like, we all have passion, but there's a good and bad way to go about it, and I just think you went about it the entirely wrong way.
But was he or was he not always on the right side of the vote? Yes, he was. Second of all,
not my vote.
Not my vote.
Right, but right.
You didn't have a vote though in one of your votes.
He could have had the tiebreaker, but that was because I was better than him in that moment.
Sorry, Christine, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah. No, you're good. I was just gonna say, for most of the game, he was on the right side of the vote. He knew where mostly where people were voting, and he did try to warn the people that he cared about. Like, not gonna lie, he told me every single time that the vote flipped on me, that I didn't know actually where the vote was going. The one time I forgot to vote because my car was smashed, and the second time I just decided not to listen to him because I was so sure that we could have saved Corey. But like, every time that I was flipped on and something didn't go the way I thought it was, Dem tried to warn me about it. So he knew what was going on for like most of the time, and I feel like even if he was a go-between or not, like, that's pretty good because people trusted him enough to give him information like that. Even if he was a liar, even if he was a cheat, even if he was loud and rude and whatever, like, people still gave him information.
But did people do that with Emma too, though? Didn't Emma know what was going on each round? So I would, for like, if you're gonna compare those aspects of their game, I would rather vote for someone like that played a game like Emma's than someone who played a game like Dem's.
Oh, 100%. I agree with you on that. I would rather vote for Emma against Dem, but I would not vote for Mackenzie against Dem.
Can I just say something about Dem? Because I feel like I like obviously I played pretty close with him, so I kind of know his game. And he was trying to say that apparently some of the moves I took credit for were his. We're not going to get with that now. I think I kind of agree a little bit with Christine, but I also kind of agree with Gwen. I think there's a difference between playing really hard and making people feel stupid. And I feel like Dem he did that to me too. Like, I think I don't know, I kind of think I played a similar game to Dem in some aspect. I don't think I ever made anyone feel like, like a little bit overwhelmed with me or made them feel stupid because I was making a move. Whereas Dem, like, the round that I had a power, and I really copied and pasted my power. I was like, damn, like, I have this power. Like, I need to nominate you. Emma literally just kept me safe, and he, like, spammed the shit out of me for, like, an hour to the point where I was just like, you know what? I have the soul power. I'm not dealing with this.
Which I was gonna bring it up because we do have to talk about it. I think we could all agree he did use pressure tactic in his game. Is that the right way to play the game or not?
No.
I don't like that personally, but in the end it worked for him. Like, even if it is wrong, it still worked,
Yeah, but are we do we reward someone who uses those kind of tactics, or?
I have a question for Jess.
Yeah.
So after, I mean, obviously, like, we don't know because we all went out before you did. And Dem wasn't. So who were the people who was HOH after that? Dem was HOH at Final 7. Who was HOH at Final 6?
Me?
So why didn't you nominate Dem?
Okay, so that round, I had to nominate 4 people, because fuck my life. I had nominated Austin and Andrew, because I knew Andrew had his power, and I didn't want him to be able to use Austin. I didn't want to have to put up either Dem, Emma, or Mackenzie, because they were in my core alliance, and I was also working with everyone in the game, except for Brian. So then, it came down to Emma or Dem, because I wasn't putting up Mackenzie. And I told them both, I was like, listen, because we're in our alliance, I'm like, I have to nominate one of you. I have the soul power. And Emma's a boss-ass bitch. She's like, you know what? Nominate me. I trust you. And honestly, that, to me, like, her showing me that trust made me want to take her further, whereas that moment made me question Dem so much because he used that against me constantly. He's like, the reason why I don't trust you anymore is because you considered nominating me. I'm like, you were the last person I nominated. That wasn't me. But I knew I had the soul vote, and my purpose was to vote Brian, so it didn't matter who went up.
So it sounds like the reason that Dem didn't go up was because of a strategic choice that Emma made, not what Dem did.
I had the power anyways, and I just didn't want to deal with his bullshit. That's what it came down to.
Power that you had? Sorry.
It was called, what was it called? I don't remember what it was called. It was the pink property. I got to negate 3 votes, and there was only 4 votes that round, so I literally just canceled 3 people's votes.
Yeah.
Made sure
him not being on the block in Final 6, though, I would not attribute that to him. Yeah. I would attribute that as a move that Emma made to build trust with you.
Yeah, I think if she can back that up. But I don't know. I think like, yeah, I respect Dem's hustle. Like, I get the hustle, and I do think he was a big player in this game. But I think the way he went about stuff is, I don't know. Personally, for me, like, when he was about to take me out, like, he offered me a final 2 deal at, like, final whatever. Like, when he won head of house, so he offered me a final 2 deal. Then, like, 2 hours later, he was like, why did you nominate me that one round, like, 4 days ago? Why did you try to nominate me? And I was like, you literally just offered me a final 2 deal. Like, why are we questioning it? And then now
Speaking of, sorry, I mean, were you done, Jess? I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, no, it's totally fine. Go.
Say if Dem offered you final 2 at any point in this game. I. And I know he did as for Brian as well, and for other people. I think Austin said at one point.
He was too scared of me.
I got it.
Is that bad?
He didn't come to me for anything until I had power. That's when he came to me to talk.
He came to me like within 2 weeks. Sorry. No, you go.
He never trusted you, and he made that clear to me very many times when he like found out that I was kind of working with you from like the whole Brian blow up and stuff. And he was sort of just like, listen, like you shouldn't trust Gwen. I don't trust her. I think she's coming after me. And if you and I are working together, then you're not gonna like stick with Gwen. And I was like, well,
I don't like this.
I know, but again, I feel like
I think the reason why sorry.
No, go ahead, Jeff.
I feel like this whole reason why Dem didn't like Gwen is because Dem and Gwen were playing similar games where they both wanted to be with everybody.
Yeah.
So he knew the people to take out at points to get him in the best position. But I do feel like there were so many times where people questioned him. And it's like, I think there was at one point like Austin and Andrew didn't really want to work with him. Then they were trying to make a side deal with like Brian and Gwen, like that whole mess. But I do think, I don't know, I'm just trying to think of Dem. Like, he just rubbed me the wrong way. And like, I'm usually pretty like game forward, but I think you shouldn't make people feel stupid on their way out.
So you guys, so Jess, you're saying that you think that he and I were playing a similar game, but like, did anybody ever feel like intimidated by me? I mean, aside from that night that I went off on call, before that, did I ever make you feel intimidated?
Yeah.
When? No, I'm
Pressure tactics.
I feel like you two are both just like these loud, big players. I think that's the main big connection is like because basically for how I see it, it's you two are almost like in charge of those sides.
Yeah.
And if Dem's side ever made a move,
But Dem wasn't in charge of that side though. He wasn't.
Well, but I'm just saying. Well, no, and I get that now, but I'm just saying the way he presented himself and the way Gwen presented herself. If I ever heard a move from that part, I attributed it to Dem because Dem was playing this big game, changing Gwen.
I agree with Will 100%. I feel like Gwen and Dem, you two were very much the voices of each side, just because you sort of like were like balls deep in everything, Gwen.
Yeah.
Like, and like, not that that's a bad thing. Like, I respect players like that. You just did it in a way nicer way than he did.
But that's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
I don't respect the like intimidation, and honestly, like that night went off. Like I was so upset because like, and honestly, I mean, I don't mean to like make this about me, but I just kind of want to like clear this up to kind of show the difference and why. Because I don't want to be. You guys can tell me if you think I'm being a hypocrite with this and me saying I don't want to vote for him. But that night, like I kind of made a decision that my back was up against the wall. I didn't really have a choice but to let my emotions get control and let them take over and just go off on that call. And that was one night that happened, and I'm not proud of that moment, but it is something that did keep me in the house for one more week one time. Whereas I feel like he was doing, and that was because I let my emotions get the best of me in that moment. For him, he was doing that throughout the entire game, and it was very calculated the entire time, which I think is a difference there. Shaking your head.
Me?
Yeah.
I'm shaking my head because right now when you're explaining it, I just had this flashback to like last season of Big Brother with like the whole Christy debacle, and that's what I like related my eviction to, that you went all Christy and Dem was like Nick and I was just Elise and I couldn't do anything about it. Like Annalise, whatever. Like, it's just a very, like, Christy moment that you had, which is, like, why I was so upset.
Can I just
feel like,
because it wasn't once you were, like, me and Mackenzie really didn't trust you for a while, so even if Gwen had her blow up, you were probably going Christine.
Right, but
No,
when I sent you my campaign
speech,
was it convincing or was it not? Like, you actually, please tell me, like, the truth. Or did you have to sit there and think about it?
I honestly probably would have, like, I don't know. Because I remember one week you called me a smartass or you called me a kiss ass, and I was like, oh my god, this girl was like already called me a kiss ass, and it was week 2, and I was just like, and she's not on my side, so I was just like, yeah, no. And I think you were up against Brian, right?
Yeah.
And Brian was feeding me all types of info. Even if it was wrong info, he was giving me something. So you probably would have went. Like, Gwen's blow up might have swayed other people, but it wasn't going to sway me. I'm sorry.
And honestly, that in that moment, that was a one-time, like, self-preservation, whereas, like, Dem could have gone about him kind of controlling things in a different way. You know, he had another choice. Whereas in that moment, I didn't feel like I had another choice. Dem did have choices to not just try and intimidate people over and over again into doing what he wanted.
I think a large part of Dem's game was playing the shield. I think he realized that, like, at least on my side, none of us were very outspoken. Like, I could be outspoken, but I wasn't trying to do that. Emma's not outspoken. Andrew had his blow up week something, and then just kind of did the whole under the radar thing. And then there's Austin, who was just kind of confused the whole time a little bit. Love him, but like a little bit confused. So I think he kind of, like, in my perspective, he played the shield for one side and took the heat for everyone, which is what I kept Dem around. So I'm like, if everyone's just gonna hate on Dem, like, why wouldn't I? So I think a positive to his game is, I think if he can own it, I think part of his strategy was being the shield, so that's why he picked fight. But he's also Dem, and he's a crackhead.
Right. I was gonna say that, just like, don't we feel like we should take Dem's real personality into consideration? Like, no offense, I love him to death, literally, but even in his goodbye message, it was sort of like it's just his personality to be like that, you know?
Yeah, send you a GIF out the way.
I didn't like when he was HOH that he kept posting those pictures and gifs of all those, like, Game of Thrones things. Like, that's like, I was like, this makes me want to vomit. I didn't like it.
I guess what we're trying to say is Dem played a good game, but he didn't execute it well, is basically.
Yeah. I have a question.
Yeah.
To almost like wrap the whole Dem thing up. Is there anything that Dem could say tomorrow that would either persuade you to vote for him or to not vote for him?
If he took any credit for the moves I made and made him his own, that would lose his vote completely. My vote completely.
Interesting.
What are those moves?
Like the swing Corey vote, he's probably gonna say like, no, like I could have went either way, and Dem couldn't tell me which way to go. There's that. He could try to take credit for making the whole big alliance happen when really it was my relationship with Andrew, which gave us Austin, my relationship with Emma, my relationship with Mackenzie. He was just kind of a shield, so he can try to take credit for like making a majority, but really it wasn't that. The majority was made out of the whole Chris vote. It was like self-preservation of me, Mackenzie, and Andrew, and then there was Austin. Like, he knew he was on the bottom of that other side, or he perceived himself as. Obviously, he was threatened by Gwen, so like he didn't really create that side either. But I don't know. I think his big move honestly was being the shield and taking the heat for everybody, and that's kind of fucking iconic.
Yeah. Going off of what Jess said, I feel like if he's up against Emma and he takes responsibility for his conduct, I guess, in the game, and like owns his shit, then I will definitely vote for him, maybe. But like, honestly, at this point, I just really can't vote for Mackenzie. Like, if he's up against Mackenzie, he's getting my vote, like 100%.
Which that's a good segue into Mackenzie.
I think.
Sorry, Will.
No, Christine.
No, Gwen. I think Gwen has a thought she wants to finish.
I was gonna think that if Dem would admit to his intimidation tactics, that might maybe sway my vote, maybe against Mackenzie, because he would like come to me after each one, be like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry that I didn't mean to intimidate you," but then he went off and like would do the same thing again. So clearly, like, if he was doing it, like, and he wasn't changing it, it would have been. He has to like admit that he was using that as a tactic, because we gave him feedback on that and he kept doing it. We told him that we didn't like it. So if he doesn't come clean with that and come clean with saying like, "Oh, I'm coming to apologize," like, and that's part of your strategy as well to try and kind of clean things up. If he doesn't do that, like, that's really, like, you can't be that dense.
All jury management.
Exactly.
Do we get jury questions?
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Do you guys think there were any big moves in the game? If so, what would you consider a big move, and who do you believe deserves credit for it?
Out of the final three?
Yeah, are we basing it out of those three?
In general, yeah. Final three would be like more preferred, but like, not everything happens because of one person.
I
You know
think,
what I mean?
yeah, I think Dem's big move might have been when we all put our money together for the Gray property. He knew that there was a chance Gwen might have taken out one of our side. I'm putting in like air quotes, our side. And he literally used that as a bargaining chip for weeks, being like, hey, Gwen might have put you up, and I saved you from being nominated. And I think that, like, personally, like, that kind of gave him some brownie points with me.
Yeah, he definitely was making things up about, like, my loyalties. Because things came back to me, like, especially, like, in the jury, and I was like, what are you talking about? Like, that's not something that I, like, I never said that.
That's a move. And that was a pretty good move, because that kind of saved his ass with a bunch of people, because I think a lot of people were uncertain about where you would go, Gwen, with your head of house.
The thing is, like, it's interesting because, like, I tried to be very, like, once, like, those sides were formed, like, if I told somebody that I was going to do something, that's what I was going to do.
Yeah.
And the fact that is a good on his part that he was able to convince you guys otherwise, even though I had proven a couple of times already that, like, if I said that you were good with me, that you were good, that, like, if I said I wasn't going to put you up, I wasn't going to put you up. But then he was able to convince you up.
Like, I'm just trying to think, because I think that was the round that you said, people, if you send me a selfie, and you didn't ask me for one, so he really used it as she's putting you up.
I didn't specifically. Yeah. I mean, I specifically asked William and Christine because I was aligned with them at the time. But in terms of everybody else, I think Austin sent me one because he knew he wasn't going to win, and so at that point we were working together again. So he would have rather had me. He would rather have me win at that point. That's why he sent me one. But other than that, like, I just posted in the house chat. I didn't reach out to other people.
But he used that to his advantage, though, because, like, that was one of the many points he made to me as to how he saved me that round, is I didn't get you a selfie because I didn't see the message, because I didn't bother with the competition because I knew Gwen was going to win it.
Pretty much, yeah.
If I had known Gwen was gonna win it, I really would not have tried as hard as I did.
Oh my God, I swear, I saw a game where Gwen got like 200, and I was like, nope, she's going to do it.
I'm not 34 in that other game, but
Bye. All right, so that's what I thought Dem's big move was. I don't know if it's happening.
He did do a good job, I think, of keeping, and as, like, you guys are saying, that it was perceived by a lot of the house, or at least from the other side, that Dem was controlling your side, Jess. But the fact that he, like, was able to make it look like I was against you guys when I really wasn't necessarily against people when he said I was. Like, I wanted to work with you, like, the whole game, but, like, you and I never, like...
Just never.
Yeah, and I told you that multiple times, and I just, like, I never got that, like, feedback from you. And so I would attribute that to Dem's...
I wouldn't say Dem really caused anything. Like, just that one round is what I'm saying. I think another thing Dem did, like a really good move Dem did, was he was obviously perceived as, like, the crackhead of the house, like the king pop off. And for some reason, like, everyone, like you guys were saying, he told you information about us, and he told us information about you guys, and then there's, like, weird stories in between, which are obviously lies, and he was able to pit people against each other at some point or another, even though a lot of times, sometimes people didn't believe each other, people already had that prior knowledge. Like, he really did try to take ownership about that, and it would have been really easy for people to try to take him out just because of that. I mean, look at Brian, right? So in terms of, like, information relaying, like, I think Brian and Dem played similar games, and Brian ended up in his spot, and then Dem was in his.
Brian did not do it the right way. Like, Dem was very, sorry, Gwen. He was, like, in my opinion, he was just a really good go-between person, and everyone just sort of knew, like, oh, it's just Dem, like, he's, like, Jess said, like, he is the crackhead of the house, and I think I told Gwen a few times, and Chris, when he was still there, I was like, Dem is a crackhead, and we need him. Like, we need a crackhead shield.
Yeah, we were thinking the same thing, too, though.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think he did a really good job about that, like, honestly.
I don't know what other big moves he made.
I think going off of what was said earlier about Dem, if it wasn't for you just coming here and saying, oh, most of his was our moves, like before this week, we could all say that we fully believed that Dem was running the house.
I think another big move of Dem was during the Chris vote, the silence and Chris vote, right? I think everyone knew the majority was going on silence, and then him and Austin fucking gaslit us like all day. And I was at that point where I was throwing my vote anyways. I'm like, build trust, yay, woo. And there was a moment where there was like a little fight in the alliance, which was kind of cute for a second. I ate my popcorn, it was great, between like Andrew and Dem. And then all of a sudden, I think it was like Dem who like swallowed his pride a little bit, walked right back into that alliance and was like, hey guys, I'm sorry. And I think that's kind of a big move in my opinion, because like he could have been thrown to the wolves that week, and he was like, no, I'm gonna like, I'm gonna go back and say sorry. And I think it kind of worked out in his favor. I think the move though was that he realized that he could have been on the bottom of that whole other side, and he jumped ship where a lot of people were like stuck in their ways.
Did he apologize before or after the vote?
I think he apologized after the vote, but I think at that point he probably knew that we had no choice but to like trust him in Austin.
There's one other part. There's one other part that he did that I've been thinking about, because I don't know why it's weirding me out. I think it was either after when Gwen called him out or when Austin called him out, where he had that whole like 2 days where he just went on apologizing to everyone. He changed his whole profile picture to Audrey from Big Brother 17 with the hair with the blanket over his head. And it's weird that like it's almost. I could see it both ways of one kind of playing it safer and being like, oh yeah, I am intimidating, but I'm also kind of a little bit like shy and I can say sorry. Or I can see it as he actually was like feeling down and bad and on the outs. So I don't know if y'all had anything about that.
I don't think he's a bad person at all. Like
no, God no. This is all a game. It's a game. Everyone's a great person.
Nobody that I mean, there's literally one person I've played with in org ever that I feel is a bad person. But,
and it's me.
Yes, it's William.
I hate you all.
But nobody in this game I think is an awful person. Like everybody, I mean, to be honest though, like, I was gonna say like I would like to talk to everybody after this game, but to be honest, like Dem's the only person that I wasn't William.
There's just I'll be honest. I'm not gonna talk to half the cats after this game. It's just probably gonna happen.
Some of like earlier people, but in terms of like the people like let's say from like the jury phase of the game, I would say the only person that I wouldn't be mad if I didn't stay in touch with them, I guess, Dem. And I didn't really talk. I mean, I love Andrew. I didn't really talk to him that much, but I would say that like there was one person that I didn't talk to and it didn't bother me. If I did talk to him, we'd be great friends. Awesome. But like I wouldn't lose sleep if I wasn't like if I didn't talk to him again after the game. And I think that is, whereas I would want to talk to pretty much every other person on your. I think with Andrew, I think he just wasn't on as much.
Yeah, I think personally, I'm probably gonna most likely talk to you three, and then Madison, Brian, and Corey. Like that's it. Maybe Emma. I didn't talk to her that much. But I didn't talk to Mackenzie, Austin, Andrew, or Dan that much in the game, or anyone pre-jury. I'm probably not going to talk to them out of the game.
Yeah. I have a question, though. What do you guys think Dem's big move was?
I don't know. I don't know anymore.
It wasn't a big move, but it made me really happy when he saved me and took me off the block, just because I feel like for him, in the position that he was in, he did not have to use his veto on me at all, and I really was not expecting him to, but he did. Even though we both knew we were not on the same side. Like
up against again, and who was the replacement?
Against in that week,
Emma.
You were against Emma, and then who was the replacement?
Emma was the replacement.
Who were you against?
Who were you up against, Brian?
Corey.
It was the week before he went home.
Oh yeah. Ooh.
And then Emma went on. Okay.
Well, I mean, and I do agree with that because I remember the week after when Gwen and Christine were trying to kind of recuperate and everything. I could tell because Christine was like, I mean, I think we can work with Austin and Dem. I think they can be loyal to us. I'm like, okay, she's working with them. But like,
I wasn't though. I was only close with them because we had an alliance from the beginning of the game called Power Trap with me,
Yeah.
him, Austin, and like Chris.
yeah. But in the unlikely event that did work out, like that one move gets them in such a better position on both sides.
Yeah.
So I think that had the potential to be a really good move.
How did
Yeah.
your side perceive that, Jess, when he
I'm
did
trying to remember, because I know there was like at one point, like I think me and Mackenzie were like, oh, we need that Christine girl out. What are you doing, down?
That
But he was
Christine girl.
sorry, it's not my fault. She told me to kiss ass on week 2. I was like, actually, like, I'm gonna
It was a
lie.
joke. Literally everything I ever said was a joke.
Listen, but no, I'm trying to think. Honestly, let me look. I saved all my confessionals. What week was that? Week?
I'm kind of annoyed that everyone took my jokes so seriously, like all the time.
You just called me a kiss ass, and I'm like, that's exactly what I'm doing. Shut up.
You're proud that she was onto your game.
Oh, for sure. I was like, this fucking Christine girl. Not only she's smart and she's good at comps. Fuck my life.
I was shitty at comps. I came in second like every fucking time I wanted to win.
I won one comp.
I'm
No,
trying.
that's not good, Gwen. When you have like double my pictures in the selfie competition, I was like, what?
I remember what. Okay, so I remember that round was the So I think that did cause him a little bit of like shit, at least in my mind, because I know me and Mackenzie didn't really trust you, but Emma
That makes sense
trusted
when Mackenzie
Christine.
never replied to any of my chats that I tried to talk to her in the beginning of the game.
I will.
Mackenzie.
I will explain that in a second. But what'd you call it? What?
No, I was just gonna say that kind of was freaking annoying because when I was HOH, I reached out to her, like physically myself, messaged her first, which y'all already know from the Nikki thing that like was annoying. But I reached out to her and I was like, listen, you're safe. I know you're like going through some personal stuff, and like she like replied, and then I tried to talk to her after that, like just to like be social, and she never freaking replied, like
Would it
ever.
have been because of the personal stuff? I'll explain that. So,
Yeah.
obviously, me, Eve, and Mackenzie were like aligned, right? And Eve would always be like, I have Christine on lock. And she'd be like, I have Mackenzie. You missed it. Because she's Eve. You know how Eve is.
Yeah.
I feel like we can all picture that in our head. So, like, I know me too. Like, I wasn't really talking to you a lot, Christine. Because, like, Eve would tell me everything you said. So, I'm not saying it's a good move. Not saying it's a bad move. Not saying, but, like, yeah. I'm not saying it's an excuse. Like, give some context.
So, Jess, then I have a question.
Yeah.
Did you not trust me and not like me because of what I said about you and Gwen to Eve?
Was that about the Tawny thing? Was it you that said me, Tawny, and Gwen were aligned?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I had the biggest feeling that
No,
Gwen
you-
was in with everyone, and I was so suspicious of Gwen, and then you, like, would barely talk to me at that point, and
Yeah.
Mackenzie, like, never did. So I was like, these
Eve
bitches are in an
definitely
alliance.
about
I'm
that.
not in it.
Yeah.
Eve was like, I'm gonna put up Tawny just to like save you and Gwen because everyone's saying you guys are together, and I was like, well, fuck Tawny, I guess, huh?
I was like, this Gwen bitch is talking to everybody. I don't like that.
Another reason too is because I knew you were close to Chris.
I was talking to everybody, but I wasn't aligned with everybody.
Yeah, no.
Right,
they
but
said the
I just
girls
figured
never. You know.
my like survivor instincts kicked in, and I was like, they're working together because they're not working with me. And I was like, wait, this is Big Brother. I should calm down.
And what's Big Brother that's hard is that there's so many people, and like I like legit like miss messages in
The same.
Discord. So, but like did
I
Dan?
got a question for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hello.
Yes,
We're still not done your other
Oh, my
question,
phone
Kate.
glitched.
Just saying.
Oh, I have a question for y'all. So,
What is
since we're on the
it?
Since we're on the topic of social, do you guys find yourself focusing more on their social game or their strategic game?
Social all the way.
social for
I'm
sure.
the opposite. I think
Why?
is really important in Big Brother because you can talk to people all you want. We have all this time between rounds to talk to people, but what do you do in those rounds? Like you can just talk to people the whole time.
But honestly, like, no offense to this final three, I love them and stuff, but I feel like all of the strategic players have are in this jury. Like, no
Yeah.
offense to them at all, no disrespect. Like, they made it to final 3, and I respect that. But I don't feel like they did anything actually like strongly strategic because they voted out all those people, and we're all here together now.
But could that be seen as a strategic move, though? You see what I'm saying? I just think I don't know. I like now I'm like backtracking. I think that you have to have a mixture of both.
See, I think never mind. Sorry.
Oh, I was gonna say I think you have to have a social game to have a strategic game.
Yeah, they basically go hand in hand.
Yeah.
But I just think personally with me, their social games really the thing that's separating them for me.
Yeah.
Like I think especially with me in general, like Mackenzie had no social game with me.
Mm-hmm.
Dem had a social game, but he overplayed it. Versus Emma, who was right in the middle and who used her social game to get ahead as much as possible without having to overplay her social game.
It was like Goldilocks and the Three Bears with social game, I swear.
We never got to. Okay, what do you guys think Emma's big move was?
Listen, I really can't answer that for anyone because I just mainly see it as that side because I really wasn't close to any of the three of them.
Because I think Emma had a few big moves. So I do think her first big move in the game, I hope she sees it as me, like as I'm seeing it. I think her first move was when her power got exposed by Brian. She didn't make it look like, oh my god, I didn't tell people. She kind of blamed it on Brian a little bit. And I think at that point, everyone knew Brian wasn't credible, at least in my eyes. And it kind of worked because, like, I wasn't too mad about it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
I mean, like I said, when Brian first talked about Emma's power, because right before Deb used the veto on Christine, he called me, asked me what to do, and I said, put up Emma, because A, of the power, I wanted the power out of the game, and B, because Corey and Christine and Gwen wanted her in that pentagonal alliance. I was like, oh, no, that's not good, because Corey, Emma, Christine, and Gwen are back together, and then it's me and just me out. That's not good. So
I was really confused about why Jess was in that alliance, to be honest.
I wanted her in there. I
didn't want to work with Jess, but I was just like, wait, what?
I was just forced into it because I thought I was close with Corey, and then William had mentioned it to me, and I'm like, well, I can't say no.
Yeah, because
I liked it because I actually felt like we had a chance, like I had a chance to actually gain trust with Jess, because I knew at that point you were like very rocky with me, and I was like, I can fix this. I love
you
Jess.
could
like,
not
I
have fixed it.
Work with you so bad.
See, my thing was from the illusion that Jess gave me, I thought she was with me, kind of on the outs and didn't have any people.
No.
So when I was talking to Corey, I was like, let's get people together. Corey, you trust Gwen and Christine, bring them in. I trust Jess. I want to bring her in. Like I wanted almost to show her like that I have her back, and that I wanted to like bring her into something bigger. And that she already had something, and that she didn't need me.
I love you though.
I love you. Ow, this hurts so badly to do. I can't do hearts. My hand hurts.
I think another thing about Emma too is I think she easily, hopefully she sees this. I'm not too sure. Emma kind of worries me about how she's going to perform in the finale a little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
Crack that, man.
I hope she's not drunk again. Like, Lord,
I don't
please.
think she's gonna be drunk. I know she's really nervous from what I've spoken to her about. I think another one of Emma's kind of bigger moves was I think she did let Dem be the shield for her. Because I think kind of like what McKenna me, like I think a lot of people perceived Emma and Dem as like a duo in the game. And he was obviously working with everyone, so it would have been really easy for people just to pick off his number 2, if you think about it.
Gwen has a camera.
Sorry, Jess. I just realized this. I forgot that Emma was in that first Power Trap alliance with me, Chris, Dem, and Austin too. So she started building those relationships, and she was what I was worried that Gwen was doing, and I didn't even freaking realize it. So I feel like she also had an alliance with me, Eve, Corey, and Mackenzie.
It was called Girls Night Out. It was made by Eve. Yeah, the Girls Night Out. You know that one? Yeah. Freaking Eve would always send that video in the main chat. and it always gave me so much anxiety. But yeah, no, I think Emma really had her bases covered. I think she like laid down that foundation to get her further. Because like I said before, she wasn't originally in the majority alliance because she made it very clear that she was not voting out Chris. She wasn't in the. Let me look through my Discord. I think
So
another.
she actually didn't flip, and she actually did vote to keep Chris? Question mark.
Yeah, the votes were me and Mackenzie. It was me and Mackenzie. Who else? I'm not too sure if it was Madison or not. That's still unclear.
Brian, can you answer this question?
What's happening? What's up?
I forgot what the vote was, but I know me and Mackenzie didn't vote that way.
For
You
what?
didn't vote that way either. It was
How
us
did Chris
two.
vote?
Mackenzie? No, I thought it was.
It
I thought
was
it was
me,
Austin
Ethan,
who.
Mackenzie.
Austin.
No, Austin said he didn't vote, but I have no idea.
You know, Madison swore to me she voted with me because Madison and me were super. I think Madison was our number one at the time, and she was like, "Yeah, no, I'm definitely voting with you." I don't think she voted.
No, too many people gaslit everyone. We're not gonna know. But Emma wasn't originally in the whole majority thing because Brian had told everyone that you, Christine, Emma, and Chris all played together.
I love every single time Jess goes and Brian did this.
I'm trying to look at my alliances now.
You're like, and Brian ruined the entire game.
Deleted already? Oh, I can't
Brian
even.
should have just kept his goddamn mouth shut.
Oh.
Yeah, it was me. Oh, I can't see because people got kicked out.
Yeah, and half of my alliances are gone now, so I can't even look at it.
The only thing left for me is the one with the redder.
Oh my god, the one you screen shared by accident. Love that.
Shut up! I'm a horrible game player. We know this. I got ninth place.
Judging you so hard for that. He
Mm.
reached out to me on Twitter, and it was really funny. So, do you guys remember in the main chat when I was like, guys, if you follow me on Twitter, I'll like vote to keep you. So he followed. I just did it for fucks and giggles, and he followed me and then DM'd me right away, and he was like, "So does this mean you're gonna keep me?" And I was like, "Well, I'll let you know if we have the numbers or not."
And who is that?
Ryder.
Oh god, I've said before what he said in the alliance chat, right? My little alliance with him. So sorry to get off topic, hosts. So he made this alliance with me and Silence, and at one point this is actually on Christmas. I just realized this. He added me and said, "Hey, can you talk to Deb, Austin, Jess, Christine, Corey, Gwen, Jess, Brian, Andrew, Kenzie, and Jess, and see if they're all voting against me or Nikki?" I'm like, the whole house? And you said Jess's name 3 times!
My miss.
I was, that kid makes me want to cry. I love him.
Okay, so I'm gonna get back on topic.
Yes.
So I think another big move Emma did, personally, is I think at one point she created the girls' alliance of me, Emma, and Mackenzie, and she like really distanced herself from Dem. I think after the whole Gwen thing, you guys were all like, Dem has a bunch of final twos with people, and that's when that alliance was made, and Emma had made it. She initiated it. So she definitely tried to distance herself from Dem. But I'm pretty sure those two were still very tight. So I think that's kind of like a boss-ass move, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You know, like, there's a difference between using someone as a shield and not doing stuff, but she, like, won that live night. That was really scary, and I don't think anyone expected her to win that.
Right. No, I think she definitely did use him to the best of her abilities, and I respect that, and I love that, because, like, fuck yeah, I want a woman to win, and I want it to be Emma.
Well, same. Women power.
I love that. Do you have any more questions, Kate?
We never went over Mackenzie yet.
Can we please move on to Mackenzie, because I'd really love to know what the fuck she did in this
So,
game.
okay, let's go. Are you ready? I had time to think about this. I'm not saying Mackenzie's the perfect player. And I'm not saying you guys have to vote for her at the end. You know what I mean? Like, do what's best. But I think it's kind of shitty that no one's like, I don't know, she got to where she is in the game, and we have to respect that a little bit. I think she was an easy option for a lot of people to take out at some point. Like, if someone on one side wanted to take out anyone, based on what you guys are all saying now that she didn't talk to you, it would have been very easy for everyone just to take her out. I think I think a lot of Mackenzie's trouble in the game. I'm not saying like I love Mackenzie. She probably won't be getting my vote unless I think it's like a blowout and I feel bad. But I'm just saying I think a lot of Mackenzie's troubles in the game started early on because Eve and her were really good friends. Eve brought her into the art community. She played Mackenzie played like 1 or 2 games. And then Eve would go around and tell people, I wish Corey was here, because Corey would definitely, like, back me up in this.
You don't have any reason why.
No, I'm just saying that she would go up to people. You hear my sister screaming in the background? She would go up to people and be like, I have Mackenzie on lock. And she would speak for Mackenzie all the time. And I remember at one point, because we had an alliance, me, Mackenzie, and Eve called Petty and Pink. And Eve would like constantly be like, yeah, you're going to give me this amount of money for this. And that's when I started Mackenzie, we started getting closer and closer. At that point, I just think Mackenzie was, I don't know, I'm just trying to think. I think a lot of the stuff, Mackenzie, it was caused because it was like one of her first orgs, but I can't really use that argument because like William's right there. But I think.
Come on, baby.
I love that. No.
And I know, I know at first you tried to explain it to her as because Eve kept saying, "Oh, I have Mackenzie." Yeah. There's no one had a need to text her, but that was what, week 4, and we're what, week 13, 14 now. Like there was 10 other weeks.
Okay, so I'm gonna get to it. So I think
I'm sorry, Jess, before you
go.
I'm really sorry. I don't want to interrupt you, but I just want to say it because I'm about to forget it.
Yeah.
Eve did the same thing with you and said I have Jess under lock, but you still rose above that afterwards, and you fucking worked your ass off. Like, I'm sorry, but I really wanted you to win after that because I was like, Jess is a fucking badass, and
I'll wait for you guys to see my confession.
But
no, I know what you mean.
She did nothing, and I tried to message her multiple times to talk to her, and I literally got static electricity, and this was even before any alliances were created. This was when Chris was still HOH and Ryder was the first one to go. I was like, I want to talk to Mackenzie and be friends with her and be social with her, and she just static electricity for the rest of the game. And I get that it's your first board, but you should never rely on one person. And you were able to rise above it, but she's never tried. I don't feel like she ever actually tried. And it just, for me, she's just a Victoria.
But I'm gonna say this, so I'm not saying she had a perfect game. I'm just trying to give you guys a little perspective of what I think. I think when someone early on in the game labels you as a goat or labels you as a sheep, do you think that if you ended up beasting out, would you become a threat? Because if someone labeled me, I did kind of the same thing. Eve said I was on lock, so I played dumb. And I was like, yeah, Eve has me on lock. So I can see Mackenzie in a world where she can be like, yeah, it was already going around that I was a goat. I'm going to do that.
I don't think so. I don't think
no.
But I think that the difference between you and her is, you played, you said you played dumb, and you played almost a goat. She played completely non-existent.
Yeah. I'm saying that I don't think it was intentional is because I had a conversation with her once where, so remember when she posted, I know, right? It's a shocker. Although most of the conversations I had to initiate with her. Yeah. But I did have a conversation with her once when it was when she had posted that thing about voting for HOH in the other game. So I was kind of talking to her and she was like, oh, I'm really shy to get on call. I think that I don't see that as intentional, that she was doing that intentionally. I think that she really was just shy about those things. And I think that that's something that you need to kind of overcome in these games, or it's part of a good strategy is to be social. And it's not just I adore her. I think she's really, really sweet, and I think it's something that she's gonna, and I told her, I gave her advice in that moment. I said, I really think that you should go on, because I knew of how she was perceived in our game. So I don't think it was intentional. I think it really was just kind of her, and I think that's something that she can definitely improve on. It's not anything against her as a person. Some people are shy. I'm not, but I
definitely think me and Mackenzie played similar games in terms of trying to build trust with people. And listen to me, I see your face now, Christine. I get it. But I'm talking about the alliance people. I'm talking about our
play a similar game. But our perception from our side is different of you than it was of her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's not much I can. I love Mackenzie as a person. Please be nice to her at finale.
Oh my god, no.
It's like,
I
But-
love her. Like
Yeah.
her
Mhm.
nails are always on fleek. When we were ever in the like house chat, she was like so sweet and all that. But I'm just saying from a game perspective, just like some of you guys don't like the way that Dem's social game was, and he was like very upfront and sort of rude sometimes with his attitude. I personally don't like this is gonna kind of sound fucked up, but like I am not comfortable around shy people, and I feel like I'm a very loud person. If y'all haven't,
so I'm saying, I feel the same way.
if you're in an org and you're trying to play a game and like get like no jury management is not good jury management.
Yeah.
Like no jury management is bad jury management in my opinion. And I have said that so many times. And I love her as a person, and I love to like talk to her and be her friend after this. But on a game level, I don't think I can give her my vote just because like you can't play Big Brother without a social game, and I feel
Yeah.
like she just didn't try.
But if you look, I'm trying to like balance this out a little bit. Okay.
And here,
It's easy for everyone to pick out the goat. I mean, think about it. Like people with no social game, like silent and stuff, but she still never got any votes.
But like,
And
was
she, like-
it on purpose? Was it on purpose?
What do you mean?
If that's her strategy,
It could be.
sit back and relax. then
I don't think so.
I don't think
okay, here's my 2 cents.
Yeah.
Because first I want to say if she is watching this at some point, 'cause I don't know, this is going on YouTube or something. I think.
I go up for season.
Yeah, they won't
Yeah.
see until after the season, so.
Okay, so if she is watching this, like, I love you. I know I'm like attacking you, Mackenzie. I still love you. You're great. Given the benefit of the doubt and say later on in the game she was actually in alliances, like you guys say she was, and she was actually playing a good game. My biggest pet peeve in games, this being like my first game, is I lost it. Okay. So my biggest pet peeve is if someone feels so comfortable that they don't need to text people.
I don't know if it's comfortable. I honestly think it's shyness, because even me too. Like it took me a while to like build up.
It's-
I think
no,
a
like-
bit shyness though. But I get what you
Yeah.
guys mean. Like if you're gonna play an org, come out of your shell a little bit.
I texted her 4 times the day of my eviction to no answer. I was like, that's reassuring. And then I got voted out.
Although, I mean,
Yeah.
if you're going out, I mean, I don't fault somebody for not answering you if they were voting on you that you were going home.
Yeah, but at least like, I mean, like, I would, like, even if she said, like, hey, sorry, you're going home, I would respect her 10 times more.
It wasn't that. I think like too. At least for your vote, Will. No one knew what the fuck was happening because stupid Brian back again.
And
Kept on saying,
stupid Austin took my properties from me.
I love what happened that round, William. I'm gonna tell you what happened. So I knew Andrew was trying to get the Reds off of Brian to get the properties. Like we had this whole like strategy talk about how Andrew was gonna tell Brian, your ass is going home unless you give me like the Reds. Then they finally
Yellow.
got the Reds. No, I'm talking about the Reds right now.
Sorry.
So then Andrew already has the Reds, and then I'm talking to Brian. He's like, yeah. I'm like, Will really loves you. Like I can see you and Will. Like you guys have always been tight. Like you and Madison. I was so mad that round. My confessional was not nice, Brian. It's not nice. And Brian was like, yeah, like let's weigh the pros and cons. And I was always like, I think Gwen's really trustworthy with you because I was like, Brian and Gwen are close. Let me like gaslight this a little bit. I'm like, yeah, I'm like, Gwen's really trustworthy. And I'm like, and I know Will really, really likes you. So we're not going to vote out Will, right? Like, obviously, like, we're not going to vote out Will. I'm like, I know it's between them two and like, you trust Gwen, but like, Will has always had your back. He's like, yeah, Will has always had my back. This and that. And then like an hour before eviction, he was like, yeah, what did he say? He said basically how like, I'm not using the word intimidated, but he's like, Andrew blackmailed me. Andrew blackmailed me and told me if I didn't vote for Gwen to stay, he was gonna do something. I don't remember what it was. And then Austin comes on my PM. He's like, I have the yellow property, but fucking William was already like, I didn't give it to anybody. I'm like, William, tell me, did you give Austin be jealous. He was like, no, and that lost you some time there, buddy.
Listen, okay, listen.
And I
I
went back to
had
him.
a
I was like,
painting class trying to learn how to paint. I didn't have time for this.
I was like, William, tell me now. And I was in my PMs, and then fucking Austin was like, this is like the most, okay, listen to this, Christine. I know Christine's gonna fucking laugh at this. Gwen's in my PMs being like, yeah, if I stay, my target is Austin. And I'm in my alliance chat with Austin being like, yeah, we should keep Gwen. And I'm like, she literally just told me that she's targeting you, Austin. He's like, yeah. He's like, we can keep her and she'll just go next round. I'm like, but if she wins head of health, well, she's taking you out.
Wait, which round is this?
The round William went. You were in my PM saying that you were going to target Austin. I was in my alliance for Austin being like, she's targeting you.
Oh, yeah. No. Austin and I were working together by then.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm like,
like, it was obvious that you, Brian, Andrew, and Austin were trying to be a 4 to counter R4. It was very obvious.
Yeah.
That was the most frustrating moment
like that they wanted to work with me was because at the time it looked like I was going to be able to, that side was going to be able to win more challenges. Clearly that didn't happen.
No.
But anyway, that's besides.
So I was so frustrated. Anyways, I forgot where we were going with that, but that was the most.
Yeah. Sorry, are you guys done? Because I would really like to redirect this back to Mackenzie and what she's done, because I feel like we've gotten nowhere with that conversation. Besides the fact that she may or may not have been playing shy on purpose.
I don't think she was. Did she initiate any of the alliances? I mean, not necessarily like make them.
Let me look. Yeah, I gotta think about it. I think a lot of the alliances were initiated by Dem and Eve.
Like if she was just like put in those alliances, it's like okay.
No, we had a really. I think Emma and Mackenzie have been really close for a lot of part of the game.
I agree. I think you're right.
Yeah, I think those two have been really close.
I perceive them as being.
And then we had our alliance with Dem, and then me and Mackenzie had our alliance with Andrew and Austin. I'm trying to see. She was very vocal in those alliances, though. Like, she definitely had sway in them. If that's what we're talking about. No, I don't think she ever initiated an alliance, though. But you don't really do that in games. At least in my opinion. Oh my god. Dem changed his profile picture to poverty. Sorry, I just saw that. Yeah, no. I don't know. I think a lot of Mackenzie's game, I would say, was similar to, like... I would say in terms of... I'm, like, trying to think. Honestly, I love Mackenzie. I know she's not going to win, but, like, I just don't want you guys to think she was furniture, because she wasn't. She just was furniture to your side. She was very essential to our side, okay?
As a number?
As a number, but she also helped making decisions. Like, Christine, you left because of Mackenzie. Like, Mackenzie does not trust you at all, so we were like, let's give Mackenzie Christine.
Okay, but, like, why did she not trust me when I was, like, always to reach out to her? Because I know you didn't like me because of my stupid comment, but, like...
I think it was a lot of Eve, though. Like, Eve really painted you as, like... But Eve was trying to make it like she was the saving grace between us. So Lord knows at this point. Like, he would always be like, yeah, Christine and Chris were saying this about you guys. And
I never included Mackenzie in any of my speeches against Gwen or Tawny. Like, ever. It was just you, because you, like, never really, like, tried to talk to me, and then I was like, I don't like Gwen because Gwen's, like, talking to everybody, so she's obviously, like, gonna make it far. And then,
I think Eve, like, messaged me when she was at work, too. She's like, I have to tell you something. What? She's like, Christine thinks that all the older girls are working together. You, Gwen, and Tawny. And I was so offended. I'm like, the older girls? How fucking dare you? But also, like...
I never said that, though. I never said older girls. I was just like, I think it's Gwen, Tawny, and Jess, because, like, they haven't talked to me, and I just mind you guys, I had just come out of a Survivor game, like, stressed out, and I was, like, in Survivor mode in my head, so that's, like, the strategy that I was thinking about, like, in terms of where people are and who they're working with, and I was like, well, these people aren't talking to me, so that's, like, really shady, and I don't like that, so we need to do something about that.
I thought it was so funny. Because, like, you couldn't have been more wrong. I think I was closer to Gwen than I was to Tawny. I think I exchanged, like, 2 words to Tawny. I think I spoke more than Madison than I did Tony.
Hey Jess, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, let's go.
No, it's just like you said, Mackenzie wasn't furniture to your side, but she was to ours. But like, I think she was furniture the whole time. Like,
Why?
what about before the sides were formed? What happened? Like, she didn't talk to anyone, even from my knowledge, before the sides were formed. You know?
That's not true. The sides were formed because of the whole Silence and Chris thing, right?
Yeah, but before that,
But before that,
she couldn't talk to people before that.
Before that, we already had alliances. Like, there was already alliances made before the Chris vote. And she was a part of that.
Yeah.
But I'm not too sure. Like, I'm not saying she had the perfect social game. I'm not saying she had a social game at all. But I'm not going to sit here and be like, Mackenzie did nothing all game just because you guys didn't see it and I did. You get what I mean?
But like,
But, like-
other than
I feel like you're not really
other than
telling us
number-
anything he did do.
I feel like her strategy would work better in Survivor. Big Brother's more social game, you know? You gotta
Yeah.
play it.
No, I get what you mean. I think Mackenzie's, like, essential part of her thing was being a number. And I don't think that's a bad thing, though.
But like,
Especially in the game where numbers
It's not a
were
bad
so,
thing for
like,
you, but it's
I don't
it's
know
like I
how
said.
I feel about that.
I think Christine said it best. It's like no jury management.
yeah, for sure.
Like
I
I
don't
mean-
know how I feel about giving my vote to somebody who was just a number until it was way too late in the game to start winning competitions.
Yeah.
Like I'm
No,
just
she
not.
might turn around and be like, I was throwing stuff. Who knows? I have no idea.
If she honestly has like a good reason and she says that was her strategy, like I'm like definitely convincing. I could be convinced if she's against them.
Hmm.
For sure. Like if she's against them and she like makes a really good case for herself
Hmm.
and says that guys, like this was my strategy of laying low. Like I just wanted to stick with one side, which I've played like that before, so I understand and I respect that. But like if she's just like, well, I was a number and I helped this alliance, and like that's not gonna cut it
Yeah.
for me.
So it sounds to me like Mackenzie's not winning. So, between Emma and Dem, what do we do? Or
Emma.
what are you guys considering?
Emma.
Emma over Dem? Why?
Yeah. Because I think she just, like I said, she did the best with her social game. She didn't overplay it. She didn't underplay it. She played the middle the best she could to make sure she was. I think she had just had the perfect combination of both physical, not winning too many challenges, not winning 0 challenges, winning the right amount. Social, being social enough but not too social, right in the middle. Strategic, not making so many big blatant moves, but also not making no moves. I think she played the perfect middle game.
Yeah, I agree.
I
I'm really nervous for her finale because I know she gets really nervous really fast. So are we taking into account final speeches? Because like honestly, if it's Dem and Emma, I'm gonna have to listen to speeches because if Dem comes off very cocky or arrogant, yikes,
which he probably will because that's his personality.
yikes. But I know Emma gets really nervous.
I've got a question.
I'm like trying to think. I don't think we have any more questions. I think it's very clear who the winner is.
I have a question, but
Wait.
I also have a
What?
comment.
Yeah, go.
What are you gonna say, Will?
I was gonna say, did Kate just say she had a comment?
I had a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, okay. So since we were talking about speeches, that like reminded me. So I already know for you guys, Mackenzie didn't send any goodbye messages, so like don't include her in this. But did Dem and Emma's goodbye messages affect how you viewed them at all after they sent it?
I didn't
Like,
get
let's
it.
say you thought someone
Not really.
was good, and then they sent their goodbye message, and you're like, crap, that person actually wasn't that loyal to me.
No, I honestly cannot tell you off the top of my head a single thing that was in any of their. Like I can tell you everything about Jess and Gwen's goodbye message because it was memorable. I think the only thing I remember from Dem's speech was the things that made me mad because
Hockey and his
I will.
talk about that, Kate. Kate, Jacob.
Since,
What's
sorry,
the question?
since
Sorry.
like
Can we talk about what was said in goodbye messages?
Yeah, you just can't like share your actual goodbye messages, but you can talk about this.
Okay,
like you
because
you can't copy and paste it or send the YouTube
Yeah.
link.
Yeah, because the one thing that's rubbed me wrong about Dem the entire game is because he kept pushing so hard about because I voted wrong on the Corey vote that I like destroyed my entire game. Only because because
Which isn't
during
true.
that vote he texted but during that vote he texted me and he said, "Hey, you're voting Corey out, right?" I'm like, that's not what everyone else is saying, because I've been saying this every single day. The people who talked to me were Christine, Gwen, Jess, Brian, and Dem. Christine and Gwen and Jess also said voting Corey. Brian and HOH didn't have a vote. Dem didn't have a vote. So who was I going to listen to? The three people who do have votes who are saying one way, or the two people who don't have votes saying the other way?
Yeah.
Like, it's like, I don't see a world where it's logical that I vote someone out and have no, like, lenient, like, I have no assurance there. And so every single day past there, and in the video, he's like, I would have loved to be final two with you, but I lost all trust in you after that one vote. I'm like, just how did the one thing that brought my entire game to just pieces?
Literally,
I have a question,
you,
though.
bro. I feel you on that one because as soon as that came out of Dem's mouth, I realized all three of us are fought up. Like, we were fucking done. Because I love it's like mob mentality. As soon as one person freaking says something in Big Brother, you're fucked. Like, you're done. Goodbye. Like, pack your bags.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question, though.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about goodbye messages. So I remember Brian used to get credit for leaking info and having that influence on people. Do we keep Dem at that same level? Because he kind of did the same thing. Like, I know a lot of people were saying that, like, when Brian was doing all that, like, Brian's going to win because he built himself a resume. Do we think that we give the same credit to Dem? Because it sounds to me like he literally leaked everything.
I mean, he didn't leak anything to me. Which,
like Christine was saying.
I think he did. I think that was very smart on his part to build trust with people. I put that in air quotes just because we all knew that he was everywhere, sort of, and he was just everybody's shield. Like, again, like the house crackhead that everybody just wanted to keep around.
Yeah.
And I feel like it just worked for him because everyone was giving him information at some point.
But was he doing that on purpose?
Oh, hell yeah, he was. He knew what he was doing. 100%. Like, his goodbye message to me, making a round turn back to what we were talking about, his goodbye message to me literally was so political, I would say, and it explained him, I guess.
I'd have to watch his again for mine. Yeah, I have to watch it again. I don't remember.
Okay, I don't want to interrupt, but I'm gonna end the recording in like 5 minutes. You guys can keep talking after that and everything. Like, that's totally fine. But if there's any last things you want to say that are gonna be shown after the season, now's the time to do that because the recording is almost at like an hour and a half, and I don't want to.
Christine, go first. Christine, go.
Okay, I have a quick question. Let's not like get deep into it, but who do you guys? Like, what is the Big Brother player that you compare each of the final three to?
I was trying to think of that.
Yeah.
I include Big Brother Canada players? Or
No.
do you not know?
I don't know who they are.
I don't know who they are, but sure.
I mean, you're welcome to.
No, I'm trying to think. Let me think.
Okay, I'll go first since it was my question.
I'd say Emma is Andy, in my opinion.
I was thinking the same thing as well.
Same. Oh my god.
The only thing he didn't lie as much as he did, which is why I was thinking against it, but...
And, like, not...
I would say Dem is Andy.
No.
No. Oh my god, Dem is... I was already called.
He would, like, no.
Wait, Dem is Zach, BB16.
No.
I think he was too loud and... I mean, I didn't like Zach, so...
How far back can I go?
That is Devin.
No. Oh my god, you're giving him way too
Let
much
me
credit,
think.
Gwen.
Devin.
I'm trying to think. I would agree with the Paul statement for Dem.
Yeah, I think...
But I think he played a good game, but he played it wrong.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then Mackenzie...
I would say
Mackenzie is Victoria for me.
No, either that or even Spencer almost. Because
I
Spencer
could've-
kind of stuck to his one side.
yeah.
He was kind of the goat for that side, but he stuck to that one side.
Star.
What?
Spencer is more like a Brian. I don't know, as in being a Pawn Star.
No.
I would say Mackenzie's more like Liz, or Liz made Final 2 in that season, I think, from Steve's season.
Okay, but
I-
Liz
I-
had strategy.
Yeah, you're right.
Mackenzie is, in my opinion.
Taste in men.
Huh?
She also had really bad taste in men. Does
Oh
Mackenzie?
my god, at Austin, gross. I mean, not our Austin, but like that season's Austin.
I know. I would say for Emma. I'm gonna. You guys, how far back can it go?
As far back as you want.
Okay,
Go.
'cause, like season 2, June or whatever the fuck her name was. Oh, she played the shit out of the social game. She played such a good social game, and no one, like everyone knew it, but like no one ever did anything about it. But everyone knew she was playing such a good social game, and she had people. And in that season, I think she was like enemies with a girl, and like they kind of like patched shit up and they ran shit, and she let the other girl take all the heat for her. And I think that's a very Emma thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think of like a player that like let someone else take a shield and had a good social game.
Eric?
Casey. I feel like Emma would be like a Casey for me, maybe, because she's super nice. Everyone liked her. Everyone talked to her, and she.
I can see it.
What about a Derek?
Emma?
No. She's
He had a shield, right?
She got thanks. I have like the memory of a goldfish. That's like Big Brother winner.
Remember that time that I met Derek a couple days ago?
No. Okay, what's your other point? Since we only have like 2 minutes now. William, you had something.
Oh, I was gonna say, okay. So while this is recording, can I just say, and I want everyone to agree as well, how great the season was, and like the hosts, like
Aww.
y'all did like fantastic. Like I love you guys. Thank you.
Otherwise, they are fantastic.
Thank you for such a fun season and for having us. We all love you.
Aw, you
We can't wait for season 3.
I would compare Emma to a Jordan.
Aww.
Oh yeah, I love
Jordan Lloyd. I'm looking at the winners now. She let Jeff take all the heat, and Jeff was constantly targeted.
Yeah, that's so cute.
And she
Definitely
fucking
Jordan.
did that. And she was a great winner. But yeah, no. I have a question. Well, we're also here. How are we doing the whole jury thing? I guess you can like stop this stream if you want,
Okay,
Jacob.
so how this is gonna work, tomorrow at around 10:30, we're gonna start, well, we'll start with doing the part 3 of the HOH and the eviction.
Can we get to see that?
Sure. Questioning will be, I mean, yeah, sure. Questioning will be at, as soon as that's over. I don't think that probably won't take very long, so probably by like 11, we'll start questioning. So, the jury's, it's going to be on the live stream, and I'm going to link you guys to the live stream, because obviously we can't have like 13 people in a group chat at once on Discord, so we're just going to have the finalists in there. We'll live stream it. They'll do an opening statement. One by one, you guys will be added to the chat to ask your question, and they'll give an answer. And then once everyone asks, they'll do their closing statements, and it'll all be live streamed, so you guys can watch it all as it happens. And depending if everyone's here or not, we'll do the vote and winner reveal, as well as like awards and reunion and all that fun stuff.
Oh god, a reunion! I can't wait.
I have a question, Jacob.
Yes.
How long do we have with them?
I don't like have a specific time limit, but if it goes over like 10 minutes, I'll probably cut you off.
I don't know. Okay.
That's a lot of time.
It is a lot.
Also, if you want, you're able to go on camera for it too. But like, it's all up to like the final 2 if they want to be on there. I mean, for Clue, it was just me and one other juror that was able to be there for it, so it kind of went differently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But as far as I know, everyone except for Corey is going to be able to come tomorrow, so that should...
No, Corey!
Oh, really?
Yeah, rest in peace, Corey. So,
Damn it, my favorite juror, besides Will.
I got so offended.
I I'm sorry.
I was shocked.
Poor Glenn. Look at Glenn. Chopped liver. I said poor
Okay, I'm
Glenn is
gonna end
chopped
the
liver.
stream. So if anyone has any last
I mean, who
words,
can't love me?
Streaming?
Bye, stream. Have a good
Bye,
day.
love you. Thank you for a good season. I hope I was the villain somehow.
no.
I just want fan favorite. That's all I want. That's all I care for.
Oh, the fan
I mean-
favorite poll's open, so
Can I
Vote
tell
for me.
yeah.
I just want to know the people who love me. That's all. That's all I care about. I care too much about that.
people to vote for William?
Can we all vote for Will, please? Because he deserves it.
No, I don't.
Add to
I got
the
no.